Hey, what's going on, guys? Xiangqi PGN here. In this video I'd like to introduce a little bit unusual approach to data extraction task basically. So I got a very interesting you can call it job basically, this doesn't matter really, a very interesting task to convert this document. It's text format, but this is known as a UBB format. I'm not sure, I have no idea how this, what does it stand for, this UBB, but the idea is that this is the representation of the game of Xiangqi with annotations and variations and moves and so on. So, and all this stuff is encoded here. So we have the encoded initial board position, we have the encoded move list, encoded variations, and then down below here we have the commentaries. And the most tricky thing is how to map commentaries to the variations. And the very initial attempt I tried was to manually try to parse it, but this failed completely, mainly because in order to parse, so I've grabbed the code that can actually translate this digits to move notation, like it's done in Xiangqi, but I couldn't really alter the board state because not all the moves been recognized, because we need to make sure that we initialize the initial board state. So this is like a starting position being encoded here. So we need to make sure, so we can initialize this one in order to parse the variation properly. And this initial approach of just grabbing the code that translates this stuff didn't really bring me to anywhere. So I kind of almost gave up this task. I thought this is kind of impossible. But then suddenly today I woke up and I got a fantastic idea I'd like to show you in this video. So how in particular this task can be achieved. Well, at least I hope so. So in order to, there is a way how we can kind of read this file. So there is a site that is called don'tpinxiangqi.com, and it has the dynamic board editor. So this is the Google translated version, otherwise it's all in Chinese characters. So here we can just paste this, okay, it takes time. We can paste this, and now we need to click this UBB to HTML. And well, I'm not sure that how I'm doing this is the best ever way, but here I can just simply say document. Probably there is a much easier way, but with this Chinese characters it's not that simple, well, at least for me. But here is how we can see the game and see the moves. So they have this app for watching the game, so you can see it. So the move list has been parsed, and the most essential things that we have the commentaries associated with the current move, and moreover that we have somewhere we have the variations, and we have also the commentaries being associated with the variations. So the output format that I need to come up with would look like a book. So we see, like, you know, like if you're reading a book, you're walking through the main line. If there is a commentary, you want to write the commentary, like make the move, then write the commentary after, and so on. Then if you encounter a variation, you want to you actually want to write the first variation, give a commentary, then write a second variation, give a commentary. The biggest dream is also to have the pictures along with the text, but that's a little bit of a next steps. So for now, it would already be really fine and really cool to have this main line mapped to commentaries, mapped to variations, and mapped to variation commentaries. And the biggest issue rising here is that the commentaries might be nested, and mapping this manually by hands is really tricky, especially bearing in mind the fact that I didn't really find an idea to decode this board position. So I decided to go for a completely different approach with this task. So I've downloaded some sort of a local version of this editor. I've modified this quite a bit at the moment, but the idea is that now I also have a move list here, but this doesn't really matter that much. I don't really need this move list. So literally this is the same app, the same functionality, but it runs locally, which means that I can embed some additional JavaScript code in order to work with the data that has already been extracted and parsed here. But then I thought, why do I actually need to reuse the functionality of this app for parsing purposes and mapping everything on my own, when instead I can simply automate the browser. I mean, like, I can mimic the user clicking on this moves and reading these commentaries, and also clicking through the variations and also reading these commentaries. So I will now just try to show you the example session of what this should be, basically, and then hopefully you will realize the idea behind this automation that I'm talking about. So if I just invoke my console right over in here, so I know that I've already inspected this, but let me show you this one more time. So if we do inspect the element, we have this div id move 1, then would it be move 2, 3, 4, etc. And this function fires like go to number, and this, when this function fires, we update the variation mapped to this first move, if any, and also we update this sort of we update the commentaries. So this is how it can be done. So let's say we go into console, and I just simply say document dot get element by id, and let's say the move no 1. Well, I hope I spelled that correctly. Let's see. Yeah, we do have this. And now here is the magic. We can use this on mouse up. So now let's say I want to go to move 2, and have a look what happens. It goes to move 2 programmatically, and now we can go to move 3. Okay, and it goes. And let's say we go to move 2. Okay, so in this case we can also extract the data from this sort of stuff, from this view element and the variations, if any. So we can also mimic the click on the variation. So here, let's say if I inspect the element, so text area C text, which probably stands for commentary text. So let's say here I can say like let's say document get element by id C text, and I want to extract the value out of it. Okay, and we have this now red cannon moves and so on and so far. So we can really associate the stuff, like print the move, extract the move. Well, we obviously can extract the move here, so it's not a big deal. So to extract the move, I don't remember the exact. Let's just try to print this in HTML to get what the move is. Span M to M. It should be M to M. Okay. So let's say I want to extract the move M to M, and I want inner HTML here. Okay, I do extract the move. Well, also I can alter the JavaScript code of this viewer a little bit, so it would be displaying not the Chinese characters but international notation, which is the exact thing that needs to be done basically for this task I'm now working on. So that's kind of it. And also exactly the same way we can extract the variations, if any. So we can also extract like the specific commentary. So the idea is that using this programmatic approach, most likely I hope that I can just simply write a script that would be click and move by move. Then respectively this stuff would be changed, and then I would be able to extract the data and linearly write the variable that would be serving as the text file eventually. Then I can just download that, and that's kind of it. So just using the power of the viewer itself and the fact that it has already mapped all the variations and all the commentaries all together. So I think that's the fastest and the easiest way to go basically with this sort of a stuff. So this is the idea, guys. So it's a little bit of unusual thinking when extracting the data. I don't know whether it impresses you or not, but for me personally, after really lots of hours of unsuccessful attempts to map this stuff all together by hands, it's not really it's kind of like not really that easy. So at the moment I'm doing this a little bit weird way. So I'm just the user would need to paste the UBB code here, and this initializes the game, and then I think that just adding the script would be kind of running this stuff, processing like move by move, very, very fast basically, and eventually come up with a text that can be downloaded by the user, and that's it. So that's the idea. And if I ever about to succeed with this sort of an idea, then probably the next video would come up showcasing how exactly, well, probably showcasing the code and showcasing how this works eventually. Well, okay guys, so this is it from my side. Thanks for watching. Until the next time, and take care.